I was a meth addict when I got pregnant, and delivering my baby while high on meth was the worst memory of my life.
Growing up, I can remember as a little girl getting made fun of, being called taco and burrito because I was half Mexican and then my dad is Italian. Felt really insecure. I always struggled with my weight. I was like 17. That's when I started using substances to lose weight. Grew up with a lot of people who their parents were cooking dope, methamphetamine, in their homes. And when I took drugs, they helped me cope. They made me not feel my feelings, made me feel worthy. And those feelings of worthlessness and insecurity would come rushing back once I would get sober. Using drugs only made my situation worse. It was 2012 and I met my husband. He was kind and respectful. We were both on drugs, but he just treated me different than any guy. And in 2013, I was pregnant. I couldn't believe that I was pregnant because I was doing so many drugs. I used methamphetamine throughout most of my pregnancy, and I gave birth to my son when I was under the influence. It was July 3rd morning. I had been up all night and high on meth. I was 9 months pregnant, and I had started to have this horrible shooting pain like my lower back. My husband, he took me up to the hospital. I was only 1 centimeter dilated, so I begged them to please let me go home. I didn't want to sit there in front of them because I was high on meth. I went through labor the whole day with the house. I remember laying on that bed and praying, please God, please let me have my baby and I will never do drugs again. I will never forget the nurse coming over and telling me that he was healthy and that helped him, and I just couldn't help but think that it was a miracle. After 90 days, I relapsed on Xanax, and it led me back to injecting opioids and injecting methamphetamine. About a year passed, and it was July 2nd of 2015. And my best friend, she was angry at me and she called the Child Protective Service for me, showed up on my front doorstep, and they ended up taking my son from me. Now that is when I really decided I've got to change. And I said, please take me to detox. While I was in treatment, my husband did court and he went into an outpatient program so he could really sober up. Once I graduated treatment, I got on the opiate replacement therapy, medication-assisted treatment, Suboxone, and it saved my life because I was a chronic relapser. I finally got sober July 13th of 2015. Had custody back of my son by March of 2016. I don't want him to go down the same route that I went down. So I'm educating him about addiction. If you're struggling with addiction, I want you to know that you can get sober. I know it feels like it's something that you could never obtain. I want you to know that you can do this. I am seen. Are you?